This is the SSP spelling strategy. It's really straightforward. Say the word and listen to how many speech sounds there are. The speech sounds are the phonemes. They're the smallest units of our spoken words. Use your duck cans to make sure you get it right.
A, K, W, I, Z, I, Sh, N. Acquisition.
So now I've done my duck cans, I'm going to do my duck cans over my whiteboard. A, K, W, I, Z, I, Sh, N. Acquisition.
A, K, W, I, Z, I, Sh, N. Acquisition.
I might use duck fingers. A, K, W, I, Z, I, Sh, N. Acquisition. Now I'm going to do my speech sound lines. A, K, W, I, Z, I, Sh, N. Acquisition. A, K, W, I, Z, I, Sh, N. Acquisition. Ac, w, is, ish, n. Acquisition. Now what I do is I give my students the word on a piece of paper. It's up to them if they turn it over so that they can put it here so that they can map it using the word that's there because they've not seen it before. Or they might think, do you know, I've seen that word before in a book, so I'm going to just see if my brain triggers, if I can remember how to spell it, and if my brain goes ping when I've spelt it correctly. So I might turn it over or I might not. If you've turned it over, if the children turned it over, then they will write the word there and then map it. And remember, when you're code mapping, it's nice and straightforward. We don't believe in difficult stuff, so nice and straightforward. So every letter is mapped with every speech sound. There's never anything left over. So we would think, okay, what goes on the A, what goes on the K, what goes on the W, etc., etc. And you keep doing that till it's all finished. Now, let's say that we didn't have the word turned over. Then what the students would do is they'd think, okay, so I'm going to track it here. A, what's going to map here? A, let's say K, W, whatever. Acqui, Z, I, Sh, let's say acquisition. Let's say we did it like that. Because these are the sound picks that I'm thinking of for those speech sounds, and that's absolutely fine. Then I would say to the student, well, actually, that one is correct, well done. That's not right, that's not right. That is right, that is right, that is right. No, that needs changing, no, that needs changing, no, that's right. So they would know which are the ones that they've already got right. And they'd know they need to change the other ones. Now, they can use their spelling cloud keyring, like the K. They know it's going to be a different K. So they go to their keyring and they know K is in purple. Look, there we go. So they'll look there. Now, if it's not a word that they have seen before, I would say to them, look, grab that word, or I would say, look at the word, then don't look at it, and then put it in. Or I would say, right, well, this K in acquisition, it's actually this one. So I would tell them which one it is, and then they've got to look and see which is the example word. Oh, it's acquire. Right, so then they know, okay, that's that one. Then they might go to the W. Okay, where's W? Let's have a look. W is in yellow. W, it's one of these. So they might try them, or again, I might say it's that one or that one. They might have a go and see which looks right. I'm going to tell them it's this one. Ac, w, I, z, I, sh, and it's a different one there. It's not this sh. So again, have a look at your sh cloud. Sh cloud is in yellow. Okay, here we go. Shh. So again, I'll say to them, it's one of these. Let me tell you which one it is. It is this one. Find the example word. Spatial. It's this one.
Every time they're referencing this cloud keyring, they're learning something new, or it's reinforcing the code every single time they look at it.
And then again, we go to the which is in purple, or the schwa. Let me just tell you it's that one. Okay, so acquisition. And then they would write it down, write it out 5 times. But once they've got to the speech, sound, lines and number stage, as I say, it really depends on the student. Really depends on the student, whether they want the word and they just want to map it, whether they're going to have a go, whether they're going to have a go and keep trying different ones to see which look right, whether they're going to have a go and then look in the dictionary, or whether they're going to have a go and ask you to point to the right one. It depends on the child and their level, what skill level they have at the moment. What ends up happening is, because we're reading more and more, is they actually are looking at more and more words. So they've got more opportunity to not turn it over, because their brain is going to ping when they make the choices to see which one looks right. Just the same as you. If you're spelling a word, if you're going to write a word, acquisition, that's exactly what you would do. You might go, oh, my brain is kind of thinking, oh, I know it's something like that. Acquisition, doesn't look right. Acquisition. Oh, that looks a bit more, that looks a bit better. Acquisition, there's still something missing. And that's what your brain does. You, as an adult, you might have a degree, that's what you do, and that's what we're teaching the children to do. Then what you probably do is actually look it up in a dictionary to see that it's this one. Just because you've got a degree or whatever else doesn't mean you can spell every word. It means sometimes you need a bit of a ping. And it also depends on how much you read. The more you read, the more words you see, and the more your brain is going to go ping. And that's what we want the children to do. We're teaching them to spell, we're teaching them to read early, so their brains go ping, ping, ping. But until then, we're giving them all the resources they need and the structure and the skills so that they can actually learn to look at patterns and how to spell even the most unfamiliar words. We're even, and this is, SSP is the only in the world to do this, all your high frequency words. Now I went through, PM readers and things like that and thought, you've got your magic 100 and what have you that are most commonly used words, but I actually looked, especially in Australia, about, okay, the reading schemes they have to do. What are the words that are the most frequent words? And I got them in order, more or less, and have code mapped them. So this shows, just the same as this, code mapped words for all of them. Ear, here, and they can go into the cloud, to the ear cloud. Look, there it is. Ear, here, and there's the ear cloud. Every single high frequency word that a lot of every other program does as sight words or tricky words, or whatever they want to call them. Every single part of this, let's have a look at that. Answer. So you'd expect the SW to be in the soot cloud. See, some programs don't ever show children the SW for this, which is crazy. Crazy. Children are amazing. Don't limit them because of the program. There it is. So absolutely all of these sight words, these high frequency words have been code mapped, but you look at any part of them and they're all in the spelling cloud keyring. The only ones that aren't are one and ones, because they're the only 2 words in the English language that can't be code mapped. So think of how straightforward that is. The only other program in the world that does this is Thras, and what they do is they, instead of speech sound, they do vowel and consonants in red and blue. But every phonics program, if you like, that you might pick up, Jolly Phonics, Letters and Sounds, Multilit, Read Write Inc, Get Reading Right, all of those programs, they all do these words, these high frequency words as sight words. And it's just, there's no need, because every time they're doing this and they're going friendly, game, water. Instead of learning that as water, because they go it means that they see, okay, so that can be an or. Let's check. And they love their keyring. Or is in blue. or is in blue. Let's have a look. So it's the second one in blue. Let's have a look. R, or. So what was the word that we just looked at? Water. Let's have a look at the or. Oh, there it is. It all maps. Everything makes sense. And this is why boys in particular and students on the spectrum that like everything organised. This is why children who like to be organised like to know why, like everything black and white, everything to fit. That's why they love this. And all you need is your phonics keyring, every spelling choice, and your high frequency word, 400 high frequency word keyring, a whiteboard, a pen, and a sense of humour.
Now, right from prep, but especially when we're getting to grade 5 and 6, the etymology, the understanding of the origins of words, the meaning of the words, the vocab, it's fantastic. Talking about the base words.
Why is the base word? The way I got it was acquire.
They're explaining how they got the CQ for the K speech sound. We're also using the IPA with the kids right from prep. So they're understanding the phonetic symbols. The monsters are all linked with one phonetic symbol because they all represent one speech sound. So right from the beginning, preppies are doing this as well. They're listening for speech sounds, they're thinking about how they articulate them. They're using their explicit phonics teaching and the monsters to create words using SATPIN. That's just the first group that we use, SATPIN. So they can build, spell and write words using these. But it also means that we're exploring real stories. You know, we're writing, look at the web, but they're looking at the coded words, spider. Here, the children have used their duck hands, lines and numbers for caterpillar. So they're in the first few weeks of the first term of prep and they're already spelling caterpillar using the speech sounds and the monsters. And then the teacher gives them the pictures of those speech sounds. So just like you saw with acquisition, the children say caterpillar, duck hands, lines and numbers, caterpillar. They've got the right number of lines, we can show them the word and they can map it. So we're not just limiting them to the phonics that they're learning in their explicit teaching, which is the skills acquisition process starting off with SATPIN. We're not limiting them. It's so easy because it all maps, it all fits. It's like a jigsaw. Now, if you're a teacher and you have to use a particular program, then just SSP it. Just get your clouds up and SSP it. Use the SSP strategies. Spelling lists, what have you. Parents, if your child's coming home with spelling lists, then code map the words and use your keyring so that they actually understand the patterns, they understand how to spell. They're not just going to get it right in a spelling test, they're going to use that knowledge in their writing. Now teachers, please add in the Speedy Six if you can. 25 to 45 minutes a day. There are just 6 activities. All you need is a set of wall clouds and you can join the dream team. So you have planning, you can share, collaborate with other teachers, use the resources. It's going to cost you 65 Australian dollars for the clouds plus postage and GST and your $120 which lasts you up until the end of the academic year. So that's less than $200 plus GST and postage for to join the Speedy Six Dream Team. 25 to 45 minutes a day. You can use the planning as I do, we do, you do, in line with Fleming and what have you, or you could just use the planning, or in the ordinary way. But it means you've got these 6 activities that you follow. We pool resources so that we're using lots of different words, like you just saw acquire. So somebody who did that planning for acquire will share their resources. Join the dream team. It costs hardly anything and will dramatically shift your results. No rote learning, spelling lists, learning things as rules. We're teaching in the way brains love to learn. And it just makes sense.